In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering lake, there lived a woman named Amara. She was known throughout the village for her kindness, her wisdom, and her unwavering loyalty to those she loved. Amara was married to a man named Elias, a potter whose hands crafted beauty from clay. Together, they lived a simple yet fulfilling life, their home filled with the warmth of love and the gentle hum of contentment. Their love was the kind that villagers whispered about in admiration, a love that seemed unshakable, a bond that appeared as eternal as the stars above. But as the years passed, the routines of their life began to feel monotonous to Amara. The village, once a place of comfort and joy, now felt small and confining. She longed for something more, something beyond the familiar hills and the quiet rhythms of her days. She didn't realize it then, but her heart had begun to wander, searching for a spark she could not name. One day, as the autumn leaves painted the village in hues of gold and crimson, a traveler arrived. His name was Kale, a merchant from a distant land, and he brought with him stories of faraway places, exotic treasures, and a charm that captivated everyone he met. Kyle was unlike anyone Amara had ever known. His voice carried the cadence of distant lands, and his eyes seemed to hold the secrets of the world. He spoke of sapphire seas, towering mountains, and cities that sparkled like stars. To Amara, his stories were like a breath of fresh air, a glimpse into a life she had never dared to imagine. At first, Elias welcomed Kyle into their home, sharing meals and laughter with the traveler. He admired the merchant's tales, and even found inspiration in them for his pottery, crafting pieces that reflected the beauty of the world Kyle described. But as the days turned into weeks, Elias began to notice a change in Amara. Her laughter, once so freely given, now seemed reserved for Kyle. Her eyes, which had always met Elias's with love and trust, now lingered on the merchant with a spark of something unfamiliar. Elias felt a growing unease, but he trusted Amara deeply and chose to believe in the strength of their bond. One evening, as the moon cast its silver light over the village, Elias returned home from his workshop to find Amara and Kyle sitting close together in the garden. Their voices were low, their heads bent toward one another in a way that made Elias's heart ache. He stood in the shadows, unseen, as Amara handed Kyle a small, intricately painted vase, a piece Elias had crafted with great care and given to her as a symbol of their love. Kyle accepted it with a smile, his fingers brushing against Amara's in a way that felt too intimate, too deliberate. Elias's heart shattered like fragile clay dropped from a great height. He retreated into the night, his mind a storm of betrayal and sorrow. When Amara returned to the house, she found Elias sitting by the hearth, his face pale and his eyes filled with pain. Without a word, she knew what he had seen. "Elias," she began, her voice trembling. "I can explain." But Elias raised a hand to silence her. "You gave him the vase," he said quietly. "The vase I made for you, the one that held my heart." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. "Kyle's stories, his world, it made me feel alive in a way I hadn't in years. I was foolish, Elias. I let myself be swept away by the promise of something new, something different. But I love you. I always have." Elias stood and walked to the window, gazing out at the moonlit garden. "Love is not just a feeling, Amara," he said. "It is a choice, a commitment. You chose to give away something precious, something that symbolized us. How can I trust that your heart is still mine?" Amara sank to her knees, her tears falling like rain. "I was wrong," she said. "I see that now. But please, Elias, give me a chance to mend what I've broken." Elias turned to face her, his eyes filled with a mixture of sorrow and resolve. "The vase is gone," he said. "It cannot be unbroken. But perhaps, in time, we can create something new, something stronger." The long road to forgiveness. The days that followed were difficult for both Amara and Elias. The weight of betrayal hung heavy in the air, and the trust that had once been the foundation of their love now felt fragile and uncertain. Amara, determined to prove her remorse, devoted herself to repairing the damage she had caused. She spent hours in Elias's workshop, learning the art of pottery, her hands shaping clay with the same care and patience she had once given to their relationship. At first, Elias was distant, his heart still raw from the wound of her betrayal. He watched her work, his silence a wall between them. But as the days turned into weeks, he began to see the sincerity in her efforts. She wasn't just trying to win him back. She was trying to understand him, to connect with the part of him that had always found solace in the act of creation. One evening, as the first snow of winter blanketed the village, Amara presented Elias with a gift. It was a new vase, crafted by her own hands. The design was simple yet beautiful, with intricate patterns that told the story of their love, the joy, the pain, and the hope for a future together. Elias took the vase in his hands, his fingers tracing the delicate lines. "It's not perfect," Amara said softly, "but it's honest. It's a reflection of my heart, Elias, a heart that is yours, now and always." Elias looked into her eyes and saw the truth of her words. He placed the vase on the mantel, where it caught the light of the fire and glowed with a quiet beauty. "Nothing is perfect," he said, "but this is real, and that is enough." The deeper lessons of love and betrayal. As the years passed, Amara and Elias worked together to rebuild their love, piece by piece. They learned that trust, once broken, could be mended, but it required patience, effort, and a willingness to forgive. The vase became a symbol of their journey, a reminder that even the most fragile things can be made whole again, if nurtured with care and love. But their story was not just about forgiveness. It was about the deeper lessons that betrayal can teach us. Amara came to understand that her wandering heart had been a reflection of her own dissatisfaction, not with Elias, but with herself. She had been searching for something outside of herself to fill a void she hadn't even recognized. Through the pain of her mistake, she learned to look inward, to find the strength and fulfillment she had been seeking in the wrong places. Elias, too, grew from the experience. He realized that love is not a static thing, but a living, breathing entity that requires constant nurturing. He had taken their bond for granted, assuming it would always be strong, simply because it had always been there. But love, like a vase, must be handled with care. It can withstand many things, but it is not indestructible. The moral of the story, bold and unflinching. The moral of this parable is not a gentle one, for betrayal is not a gentle thing. It is a fire that burns, leaving scars that never fully fade. But within that fire lies the potential for transformation, for growth, for understanding, and for a love that is deeper and more resilient than before. 1. Betrayal is a mirror. Amara's betrayal was not just a failure of loyalty, it was a reflection of her own inner turmoil. When we betray others, it is often because we are lost, searching for something we cannot name. The first step toward redemption is to look inward, to confront the parts of ourselves that led us astray. 2. Forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling. Elias's decision to forgive Amara was not easy, nor was it immediate. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing the hurt. It is about choosing to move forward despite it. It is a conscious, often difficult decision to let go of anger and pain in order to make room for healing. 3. Love is a living thing. Love is not a static entity. It is a dynamic force that requires effort, attention, and care. Like a vase, it can be beautiful and strong, but it is also fragile. To take love for granted is to risk breaking it. 4. Brokenness can lead to beauty. The vase that Amara and Elias created together after the betrayal was more beautiful than the one that had been broken. It was a testament to their journey, a symbol of their resilience. In the same way, the scars of betrayal can become the foundation for something stronger and more meaningful. 5. Trust must be earned, not assumed. Trust is not a given. It is a gift that must be earned and nurtured. Once broken, it cannot be restored overnight. It requires time, effort, and a willingness to be vulnerable. The power of second chances. Amara and Elias's story is a testament to the power of second chances. But a second chance is not a guarantee. It is an opportunity, one that must be seized with humility, sincerity, and a commitment to change. The legacy of the Vaya's years later, when the villagers spoke of Amara and Elias, they did so with admiration. Their love had become a legend, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of the human heart. And the vase, still sitting proudly on their mantel, served as a beacon of hope for all who saw it, a reminder that even in the face of betrayal, love can endure, stronger and more beautiful than before. The vase was not just a symbol of their love, it was a lesson for all who beheld it. It taught that brokenness is not the end, but a beginning, that forgiveness is not weakness, but strength, and that love, when nurtured with care and honesty, can withstand even the deepest wounds. So let this parable be a reminder to us all. Betrayal may break us, but it does not have to define us. In the mending, we find our strength. In the healing, we discover our truth. And in the choice to love again, we find our greatest courage.